I believe we have some matters to discuss.
I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor.
Good. Professor Fig indicated a certain urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments. As such, you are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell. Lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Quite. But before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them. Astonishing how much students don't think their professors know. When you're finished, come and see me. Then we shall begin working on Incendio. You know where to find me once you've finished.
Seems crossed wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be. Revelio.
Good. Now, artists, let us begin. Students, listen to the art we are about to produce for the pleasure of your ears. expect silence of you. Take a moment to allow our music to soothe your heart.
Ready for another round?
I think so. We shall see who shows up.
There's no one in the school I'd be afraid to duel.
I know, Sebastian, I know.
Glad you're back.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant! Are you dueling with a partner?
Yes, Sebastian.
Then let's get to it.
Ready to get thrashed?
Apologies in advance.
Glad I didn't bet on that round.
Bravo!
I gave it my all.
You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you. But after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning. Or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Seems like
You could have gone a bit easier on me.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know. Keep trying! So that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Assignment's all finished.
Perhaps I should stick to potions.
Moment of your silence and attention shall soon be rewarded. May we talk about this? If I could undo all that happened that day, I would! Get away from me!
Whee! Oh, not again. Here I've come from the toilet bowl where she said I could swim, did you praxia mole? As long as for only one time per week, I can plunge the boys' lavatory, not for the meat.
You'll make me late.
He tried to stop me, did rancorous carp, sought to trap me, confine me inside of a jar.
Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
That human's now. Wonder she's not gobbled up by her own fanged geranium.
Lumos. Revelio.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to accommodate you and that you found success in your endeavors.
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hackett.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement. Concentrate, and keep your wand steady. Good work.
Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project. Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project. Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project. Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project. Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project. Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project. Spare a moment? I could use your help. I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project.
How do you do?
You wanted to speak with me?
I did. Hello, I'm Duncan. Pleasure to meet you. I've heard all about you, of course, confronting trolls and dragons.
That's nice to hear. I have had my share of adventure. I hope my reputation's warranted.
I'm going to presume your reputation is in fact warranted, in which case, you are precisely the person I need. You see, We were learning to repel boggarts in Professor Hecat's class, and, well, mine unfortunately took the shape of a puffskein.
They're adorable. Why would you be afraid of a puffskein?
They seem adorable until one sticks its tongue up your nose. Regardless of how reasonable I believe my fear of puffskeins to be, I'm beginning to get a reputation as a coward. Some have even taken to calling me Puffskein Dunkeen.
I'm sorry, but you have to admit that's rather clever.
I do not have to admit that. Everett said the same thing. Anyway, to make matters worse, I stupidly blurted out that I must be braver than people think, since I have been in the hidden herbology corridor.
The hidden herbology corridor?
Yes. Rumour has it that the herbology professor before Professor Garlic kept dangerous plants there. It's supposedly so overrun now that no one dares enter it anymore. I was hoping you could go there and bring back evidence that I could use to show that, well, I'd gone in. Say a bit of an exceptionally dangerous plant of some kind.
What sort of plants should I expect in the hidden herbology corridor?
I haven't a clue. But have you seen the kinds of plants Professor Garlic grows? If the previous professor was anything like her, I'd imagine they're not exactly harmless.
Very well. If I'm in the area, perhaps I shall take a look.
Grand. I'd very much appreciate it. Come and find me if you get the proof. I shall be forever in your debt.
Hidden herbology corridor. Sounds intriguing.
Relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
Revelio! These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling. Incendiary! This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. devil's snare seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps it's light.
Lumos.
Seems the devil's snare was protecting a chest of some kind.
Lumos.
Incendio.
Lumos.
I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacula would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery.
Lumos.
I was a late bloomer. My parents thought I was going to be a squib. Family still tease me about it.
Shark caught me making faces behind his back. It was awful. Eventually, sorry.
Have you found anything to, prove my bravery yet?
Hello, Duncan. I have the proof you wanted.
That's one leaf. Must have been a giant venomous tentacula. It's even more than I expected. I knew you were the one to ask. I appreciate you getting it for me.
Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself.
This is sure to put an end to Puffskein Dunkeen for good when I show everyone in the common room tonight. This'll show Everett how ridiculous that nickname was. Thank you again, and have a good day. I know I will. Thank you for all of your help. No more Puffskein Dunkeen for me.
awful when they ask you a question now, isn't it? Grubby little faces. I'll just die.
Revelio. Leviosa. Incendio.
That light was behind me, I promise. It was an accident.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckard.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig, I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea. Sebastian, there you are.
There you are. You promised me an explanation for what happened in the Three Broomsticks. Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
Seems he's working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts.
Ranrock? And when were you at Gringotts?
Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this port key.
A port key? To Gringotts? I'm not sure I follow.
I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section.
You can't be serious.
Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much.
Understood. Your secret's safe with me. Whatever it is.
Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves, the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madam Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books. So do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try.
Revelio.
Remain unseen. The librarian's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase.
You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be alright. Do you see her desk behind me? The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
Is someone there? Is that you, Peeves? What a mess!
That wasn't so difficult after all. Now to find that book. Revelio.
Ghost, don't let her see you.
If you're immortal, you best turn back.
Should be in the clear. There's no need for us to be skulking about.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think you'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic.
Who have we here? Sebastian Sallow and his new little friend. Out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty, you'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't
I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where has that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just the spell to repair this armor. Revelio! Reparo! Of course, traces of ancient magic. Must be haunted. Revelio. Lumos. Ah, I need to wake up that rune over there. Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Accio. I wonder if I can hit the rune with a spell. Not surprising. Guards at the ready. Revelio. Levioso. Revelio. This must be the way forward, but to where? Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. It is a book after all.
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor Bakar.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we have never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But
that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
Revelio. Revelio.
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
They were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I don't know how much I dare say. George tried to convince the ministry about Ranrock, but to no avail. My instinct is to follow the path we are on for the moment and keep the details to ourselves until we know more.
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
It's time to prove your dueling mettle and see if we've a new school champion. Meet me at the usual place for the final round of crossed wands. Also, the training dummy is still available.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
did you get your Dragonhide gloves? I saw you handling that smuggle from herbology. You know, my gloves went mysteriously missing.
Can you eat a Chinese chomping cabbage? Not that I'm going to find out, mind you.
Got called on to read out loud in history of magic the other day. Stumbled over all the words. I think I even bored bins. That's saying something.
And why is she always holding his hand? I've seen them.
I fell asleep in Transfiguration once. Professor Weasley woke me up and I had drool all over my wand. Couldn't transfigure my way out of that.
I dropped one of the crystal balls in divination. Shattered everywhere. I was mortified. I will say that Professor and I seemed much calmer than I expected. Still, not ideal.
I've been meaning to ask you. You wouldn't have an extra quill I could borrow, would you?
All I can say is, don't look inside my notebooks. I was trapped on the grand staircase.
Oh!
Every time I tried to step off, it moved again. Still haven't lived that down.
Honestly, the way some of those Slytherins fawn all over Professor Black, it's embarrassing. Even he seems irritated by it. Then again, what isn't he irritated by?
In Transfiguration, I switched the writing ink with Fobberwell because I thought it to be funny, and it was. To me.
Rumour is, Professor Hecat used to work for the Ministry. Or wonder what she did.
Do you think if we asked Sharp, she'd let us go up earlier to the astronomy tower?
Oh!
I bet she would. She lives for it.
In my opinion, divination is a load of rubbish. Professor Anai seems so logical. I don't understand how she believes the things she teaches.
Ronan certainly employs creative teaching methods. While I don't always enjoy his games, I can admire the enthusiasm.
I wish they'd let Ronan touch the entire curriculum. Charms is the only class I can stay awake for. Isn't Sebastian Sallow's family from Feldcroft? I would have expected him to be from somewhere more posh.
I adore the hamlets near the coast. They're a bit damp, but ever so picturesque.
It must be difficult to live in those remote hamlets with the Ashwinders running about.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village I've ever heard of.
I should like to retire to a small hamlet when I'm older. One just like Brockborough.
Is Lower Hogsfield still dealing with that nasty goblin? It can't have been good for business.
So many interesting people from all over the world come through Hogsmeade. You never know who you'll meet. Spotted a vampire from Romania last spring.
I heard that Professor Binns died one night and showed up to class the next morning as if nothing had happened. I don't think he even knows he's a ghost.
If we were simply taught antidotes to common poisons, I truly think that would be enough to get us through life.
Nothing to be learned at Hogwarts that one cannot learn out in the world. Of course, there's something to be said for eating the house elf's quince pie whilst learning.
Do you think they'd actually bring in a Dementor for defense against the dark arts? What better way to learn, I say?
I say, teach me everything going. In fact, if Hecat doesn't hurry up and teach me the Imperious Curse, I swear I shall get on that train and go home.
Oh!
There are some impressive new brooms at Spintwitches.
I don't like flying on a broom. I prefer the safety of a thestral-drawn carriage. Nothing wrong with that.
I was destined to be a glorious beater if Quidditch had been cancelled this year. I was.
Broomsticks are going out of style, I think. So many other ways to travel now.
My parents were thrilled to hear that Black was being put in charge. Our families have been friends for centuries.
Black noticed the scuff on his shoe the other day, and would not take another step until a house elf polished it away for him. Horrid man.
Do you suppose Black's children are as condescending and ill-tempered as he is?
Good thing Professor Weasley takes the role seriously, since Black clearly has no interest in his.
Does Professor Black have children of his own? Poor things if he does.
It's about time Hogwarts put someone like Black in charge. Perhaps now we can stop all these disgusting mudbloods from ruining the school.
The headmaster hates everyone who isn't a pure-blood Slytherin.
If only Black had the power to choose the other professors too, then we could get rid of muggle-borns like Garlic. Oh.
I can appreciate Hogsmeade all year round, but there's nothing like it after a fresh snowfall.
I prefer the Three Broomsticks to the Hog's Head. Sirona's a much better conversationalist than Jasper Trout.
If it seems I'm after, I'll always go to the Magic Leap. I've upset Madam Green one too many times now. She won't soon be welcoming me back to Dogweed and Deathcap.
Frankly, I'd rather limit my excursions to Hogsmeade these days. Too much distraction.
I'm saving up for a new broom. Reckon I'll be going for the U-Weaver, or possibly a Silver Arrow. Albie Weeks says he'll give me a good price on that too.
I'd spend the entire day in Hogsmeade if I could.
My house broom will do me fine for a while, I'm sure.
I can't remember the last time Sebastian lost a duel.
Spoil my sister rotten. I think we'll just tell them to kick me out with a wind wisp from Spintwitches and we'll call it even. Rumour has it there's an abandoned manor near Bargentine. No one knows what happened to the family. I think I'll stay close to the castle.
Oh. My parents were thrilled to hear that Black was being put in charge. Our families have been friends for centuries.
How much longer do you think Black will be headmaster? I have family in America. Wonder if I could transfer to Ilver.
Good on you for stopping that troll.
Do you suppose Black's children are as condescending and ill-tempered as he is?
It's about time Hogwarts put someone like Black in charge. Perhaps now we can stop all these disgusting mudblots from ruining the school.
Black noticed the scuff on his shoe the other day, and would not take another step until a house elf polished it away for him. Horrid man.
It must be difficult to live in those remote hamlets with the Ashwinders running about.
Apparently Marrowwing was having a bit of a poacher problem. I wonder if that's still the case.
Is Lower Hogsfield still dealing with that nasty goblin? Can't have been good for business.
Isn't Sebastian Sallow's family from Feldcroft? I would have expected him to be from somewhere more posh.
I adore the hamlets near the coast. They're a bit damp, but ever so picturesque.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village I've ever heard of. Oh! Got a peek at the prefect's bathroom last year. I'd missed class for a week to soak in that tub.
Why would Slytherin put his common room in the dungeons? So dreary. Perhaps that's the point.
Just when I think I've learnt how to get around the castle, a staircase moves and I'm lost again.
Wish I could sneak into the other common rooms. Just for an hour or so.
Peeves was in a mood the other day, tossing my quill right on Scribner's desk. Now I have detention for a week.
Hogwarts is a second home to me. Feeling a bit nostalgic about leaving one day.
Rumour has it there's a secret passage leading to Hogsmeade, but I haven't found it. Probably for the best. I'd be at the Three Broomsticks all day.
Muggle school is so dull compared to Hogwarts. I'd imagine. Never been to a Muggle school myself.
Rumour has it there's an abandoned manor near Bargentine. No one knows what happened to the family. Think I'll stay close to the castle.
So many interesting people from all over the world come through Hogsmeade. You never know who you'll meet. Spotted a vampire from Romania last spring.
I should like to retire to a small hamlet when I'm older. One just like Brockborough. It's time to trade in my Oakshaft 79 for a newer model.
How in the world did people ride broomsticks before the invention of the cushioning charm?
Spintwitches is my favourite. At least I get to see all the brooms, even if I can't afford one myself.
Wonder what Kagawa thinks of Quidditch being. Bet she's fuming.
I want to play Quidditch professionally when I'm older. I'd make a marvellous chaser.
I just know we were finally going to win the Quidditch Cup this year.
Whoa. No one sends me owls. Can't remember the last time I got one. Not even on my birthday.
It's a good thing the owlery is away from the rest of the school. Quite the aroma in there.
I'd like to send owls, but I have no one to write to.
I don't think owls make very good pets. You can't snuggle up to them the way you can with a cat.
Have you ever wondered how owls know where to deliver their letters? Magic, I suppose.
I sent a love letter to Imelda Reyes once, but I think she thought I was making fun of her because she's been rude to me ever since. When I said she was outspoken, I meant it as a compliment. Oh! We had a ghoul in our attic. Groaned all the time. Quite the nuisance. Still, we never had spiders.
Tried to summon the pepper at dinner last week, and dropped a pudding into our prefect's lab. Not sure who felt it more, me or her.
I fell asleep in Transfiguration once. Professor Weasley woke me up and I had drool all over my wand. Couldn't transfigure my way out of that.
Oh! Got called on to read out loud in History of Magic that day. Stumbled over all the words. I think I even bored bins. That's saying something.
I was always in trouble, I was. Always something broken in the garden. Ornaments, torn up lawn.
All I can say is, don't look inside my notebooks.
When Howin said draw a thestral, how was I to know you don't draw it next to a dead body?
If it's seeds I'm after, I'll always go to the magic meet. I've upset Madame Green one too many times now. She won't soon be welcome. Oh.
I can appreciate Hogsmeade all year round, but there's nothing like it after a fresh snowfall.
I prefer the Three Broomsticks to the Hog's Head. Sirona's a much better conversationalist than Jasper Trout.
I'd spend the entire day in Hogsmeade if I could.
Frankly, I'd rather limit my excursions to Hogsmeade these days. Too much distraction.
I'm saving up for a new broom. Reckon I'll be going for the U-Weaver, or possibly the Silver Arrow. Albie Weeks says he'll give me a good price on one too. My house broom will do me fine for a while, I'm sure. My parents keep promising me something to make up for the fact that they spoil my sister rotten. I think we'll just tell them to kit me out with a wind wisp from Spintwitches and we'll call it even.
I'll trade you a spoon's
I
worth.
can't remember the last time Sebastian lost a duel.
I bet all the answers to everything are in the restricted section. I think it should be a special treat in Year 5 that you get to go into it.
I've been tempted to say I lost my wand just to get rid of Weasley's assignments. How's that for transfiguration?
As a Muggle boy, I used to feel I had a lot of work to do if I wanted to catch up to the other students. Now I realise that no particular group of wizards has the monopoly on skill.
I wish Hogwarts would teach us how to become animagi. They do at Wagadoo. I'd be a Niffler. Stock up on galleons.
Can't seem to master the Wiggenweld potion. Perhaps my stirring technique's a bit off.
I'd never have a harsh word to say about Hogwarts. I, for one, could stay here forever. Better than where I'm from.
Still have a bump on my head from herbology last week. The cotton fell out of my ear during a mandrake lesson. I came to with my head in an upturned plant pot.
I need to stop by the owlery. Far too long since I've sent that home.
No one sends me owls. Can't remember the last time I got one. Not even on my birthday.
I sent an anonymous howler to Duncan Hobhouse last year because he kept leaving his dirty clothes all over the dormitory. You should have seen the look on his face.
My little brother sends me letters chock full of questions about Hogwarts. Merlin will help us when he starts here next year.
Why would anyone bother sending secret love letters? If you want to win me over, just treat me to a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley.
Oh! It's a good thing the owlery is away from the rest of the school. Quite the aroma in there.
I'd like to send owls, but I have no one to write to.
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
I spent hours trying to conjure a meat pie when I was a first year, only to then find out about Gamp's Law.
I saw you fight that troll in the village. You were incredible.
Animal I'd be if I was an animagus. Wouldn't mind being a cat. Or an orumpent.
I was worried Transfiguration would be too difficult, but it's...
My brother caused a lot of trouble in Professor Weasley's class when he was at school. He'd idly wave his wand whilst daydreaming and transfigure someone's book into a beetle.
Human transfiguration is dangerous. Charlotte Morrison had to go to the hospital wing last year. Got stuck with fox ears. Improvement, I thought.
I still can't manage to transfigure a match into a needle without catching it on fire.
You think Gareth Weasley would be better at transfiguration, considering his aunt teaches the thing?
Transfiguration has always come easily to me. I suppose some minds are more suited to it than others.
I asked him to Takar to tutor me in transfiguration, but he refused. I'm a lost cause. I sent a love letter to Imelda Reyes once, but I think she thought I was making fun of her because she's been rude to me ever since. When I said she was outspoken, I meant it as a compliment.
Have you ever wondered how owls know where to deliver their letters? Magic, I suppose.
I need to catch up on my letter writing. I think my owl's getting cobwebs. No one sends me...
Oh!
I need to stop by the owlery. Far too long since I've sent a letter home.
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me.
I don't think owls make very good pets. You can't snuggle up to them the way you can with a cat.
My little brother sends me letters chock full of questions about Hogwarts. Merlin help us when he starts here next year.
If it's seeds I'm after, I'll always go to the magic meat. I've upset...
You can always tell the first-year Hufflepuffs. Reek of vinegar.
There was a rumour that if you knocked on the barrels in the middle of a Christmas carol, you get a present.
I like sitting around the fire in the common room after a long day, especially if we've had potions. Much cozier than the Great Hall.
Wish our common room was bigger. I can never find enough space to spread out my star charts.
While I remember, don't forget to give me that book on ancient runes. Or in case I don't see you...
I know what you mean.
I'd imagine the Hufflepuff common room smells the most delicious, on account of it being so close to the kitchen.
I shrugged my mother once. I did? Don't give me that look. You weren't there.
Last week, I performed a knee reversal hex on a second year. It was an utter triumph.
I tried a knee reversal hex on that small Hufflepuff. I found it rather boring, although, in all fairness, it only partially worked, which did look awfully strange.
My uncle knows Kagawa, so I can't imagine I would get good marks. And my aunt knows blacksmith.
I prefer the three broomsticks to the Hog's Head. Sirona's a much better conversationalist than Jasper Trout.
I can't remember the last time Sebastian lost a duel.
I saw you fight that troll in the village. You were incredible. You beat Sebastian in a duel, didn't you? Brilliant!
Good on you for stopping that troll.
I can't remember the last time Sebastian lost a duel.